Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking more about what has been going on with Harry and Meghan, some of the things that I've seen come out in the media, and also going to talk a little bit more about their relationship and why, as I've said in many videos, why I feel that they are now in some kind of business arrangement. And I'm going to explain why I believe that. As you know, I always like to give you how I delve into things and my thought process around it. So it is that time where it's grab your drink of choice time. And as you know, I'm now trying to involve all of you in that so you can send me your videos. So the email address will be going across the bottom here. So if you want to join in this, and you don't have to be on camera, you can absolutely just have your voice, you can have pictures, you can have your fur babies, you can literally be as creative as you like. I've had some amazing videos sent in to me, but keep them coming. And even if you've done one before and you want to do another one, if you enjoy this, then please do. And as I've always said, if you also have a YouTube channel and you would like me to advertise that, then again, please send me your details and I will also do that too. I'm always here to support everybody. So that being said, here is the new one and I will see you in a minute.
Time to grab your drink of choice. Mine's water, but it's 5 o'clock somewhere, so you can add a little something.
So most of you know that when Harry and Meghan, what I've noticed is they seem to do this thing where if they want something to happen, they will put out a statement, or it will be from a source, but to me that is that's them, where they will say, like we've seen before, right? We've seen the Met Gala. Harry and Meghan are considering the Met Gala. Harry and Meghan are, or they've been invited to the Met Gala, or Harry and Meghan have been in talks with so-and-so, like the Kardashians. Harry and Meghan have been discussing behind the scenes of coming on to the Kardashians. And what I see is that this isn't happening, but what they do is they put it in the media. They're using the media as almost like a loudspeaker. So it's kind of like, if we put this in the media, what it will potentially do is signal to these people, like the people in the Met Gala, the Kardashians, that Harry and Meghan are interested. Because unless they actually have a conversation, these people are not even aware of this. So Harry and Meghan do this thing where they put out the feelers of like, yes, we're interested, but they do it in a way of like, oh, we're in talks, or we have been invited, or blah, blah, blah. And nothing ever happens. And they're doing it again. So what is happening now that I've seen is Harry and Meghan are keen to do their next tour in Ghana. They have been invited to Ghana because of the success of the Nigeria tour. And this goes again with what I've been saying all along, is that Harry and Meghan are traveling to the Commonwealth countries. And what they're also doing is they're trying to undermine the royal family. Now, why are they attempting to do this? Because people have said to me, what's the point of this? Why are they trying to do this? And to me, it's very simple. Harry and Meghan were once president and vice president of the Commonwealth. That was taken away. And as we know, with narcissists, if you do anything to upset them, if you do anything that goes against what they want, you take something from them, they will go all out to create revenge. And this is what happens. They do it in a smear campaign, which is what we've seen with the royal family. They will get other people to do it for them. Their sources, Omid Scobie, Christopher Boozy. They will use other people to do the dirty work for them, because what they then do then is go, we didn't do that. We didn't ask them to do that. I know nothing about that. That's absolutely nothing to do with me. Plausible deniability. While Harry and Meghan sit back and watch it all happen, because at any point they could have shut this down. But they haven't. And the reason being is because this was taken from them. And especially Meghan, she will be outraged because in her mind, and again, you've got to remember that we're dealing with a malignant narcissist here. In her mind, she deserves that role. And even if being vice president, what she probably would have then in a way done is orchestrated becoming president of the Commonwealth. She would have done something to create herself to be important, more important than Harry, because in her mind that's my right. I'm a biracial woman. I have more right than anyone else to be president of the Commonwealth. And again, this is how a malignant narcissist will think, because in her mind she believes that she has the right to have that, given her background. She doesn't, but that's what she will believe. So the fact that this was taken from her would have absolutely outraged her. So in her mind, what she's now done is she's orchestrated a plan. And her plan is to undermine and try and take the Commonwealth away. So I don't think that she's necessarily looked into the whys and wherefores of how that could even happen. But if she creates discord, if she creates a lack of confidence with the royal family, there is every chance that they could sort of think, well, actually, we want these people involved. We want Harry and Meghan to come back and be part of the Commonwealth, to take back the president and the vice president of Commonwealth. Because I know that some people have said to me, I truly believe that Harry and Meghan are trying to take down the monarchy. Right, so if this was true, the outcome of that would be Harry being just Harry, Meghan being just Meghan. No titles, no princess, no nothing, no notability, no nothing. They would be pretty much, they would just dwindle into obscurity. Well, we know as a narcissist that's not what she wants to happen. And I don't actually think Harry wants that to happen. I think Harry is angry because of everything that's happened. I think that he's being dealt consequences that he's never had before. And he's now acting out because he's basically being told no. In all fairness, he should have had this from the get-go, but he hasn't. And so now he's realizing, I've gone too far. I've gone too far and I'm now stuck with this person. So what is happening here is with Meghan, I don't think she's trying to take down the monarchy, which some people believe she is. I think she's trying to undermine the monarchy. Now, if then she then moves into a political arena, then is there every chance that because she's getting what she wants. Now, at the moment, she still needs the accolade of being within the royal family. She still needs that because that is the only reason why she is getting any airtime. Let's be honest. Because if she was capable of doing this on her own merit, she would have had this before. We know that she's orchestrated things. She's lied and manipulated, like, for example, going to Malta. You know, I'm part Maltese. It's like, I want to go and look at my heritage. You know, give me a free trip to Malta. We know why she does what she does. But this is exactly what she's doing with the royal family, I believe, is that she now hates the royal family because they have, in my opinion, in my belief, and this is allegedly my opinion, I believe they kicked her out. So now it's like, how dare you kick me out? How dare you do that when I wasn't ready? I wanted to literally monopolize the royal family, become the most popular. Then once I've done that, I've sealed that, I then move on to the next thing, which would have been Hollywood. But by her being kicked out, Megxit, and if you haven't seen my other videos on that, go and watch those. That shows you that she wasn't ready. She wasn't ready to go. She still had work to be done. She still needed to be the most popular. She needed to be more popular than Catherine. That didn't happen. She was booted out. And then, of course, then we had the worldwide bug. So that scuppered all of her plans. So because all of her plans of taking over Hollywood was scuppered, she's angry at the royal family for doing that. And one of the biggest things was taking the vice presidency and the presidency of Commonwealth away from them. She wants that back. So now, because they know that she's not getting into Hollywood, she's absolutely done. They're not interested. So what does she have left? She has her absolute obsession and agenda to take the royal family for everything they have. And one of the biggest things with the royal family is their reputation of being the monarchy and who they are. And this kind of undermining, which is what I believe she's doing, which is why she's having, I mean, let's be honest, when you're having conversations with Dr. Ngozi, who is a very, very, very influential woman in Nigeria, why are you having conversations? And this was right back in the pandemic. Why are you having conversations with this woman? And what are you talking about? Because within those conversations, that secured her an invite. And which is why I believe that she's come up with this, I'm 43% Nigerian. Because that then secured her the invite to Nigeria. Up until that point, I don't believe she was going. Then all of a sudden as well, within amongst that, suddenly they introduced Nigeria as part of Invictus. Well, that's a bit convenient, isn't it? Suddenly, Nigeria wasn't anything to do with it. And then all of a sudden, when they're trying to groom the Commonwealth, they are introducing these Commonwealth countries into Invictus. Well, what a perfect Trojan horse into a country is creating it to look like this is an amazing event. And don't get me wrong, it is, to bring these wounded veterans of anywhere into something that's amazing. And I completely agree with that. However, if I wasn't so cynical, which I am in regards to those two, it shows me that what they're actually doing is they're using Invictus to infiltrate like the Trojan horse. Let's use Invictus to create a way to infiltrate the country, to be able to speak to, because let's be honest, without that, they wouldn't have been able to do what they've just done, to speak to people that are high profile, and let's start worming our way in. Now, what they've done behind the scenes and what they've promised or what they've done, I don't know. But the fact is now, Ghana is the next one on the list. So now we've seen these posts coming out, which I will put up here, of Ghana is now the next country they are excited to go to, and they've put out that they are being invited to go on the back of the success of the Nigeria trip. Now, for some of the things that I've seen, Nigeria wasn't actually as successful as what is being depicted in the media, and it's also being investigated of where the money is that funded the trip, who funded their trip, and absolutely quite rightly so. When you've got around 87 million of Nigerians who are on the stricken poverty line, literally living off £1.50 a day, or was it $1.50 a day, and the security was funded by the government or the military, and that, from what we're being shown, is that's taking away from funding that goes towards the country within itself that's very much needed. Why is that being allowed to happen? So absolutely that should be investigated. But there you have, again, this shows you that people don't have, their fan base do not have critical thinking, or they certainly don't have it. Of course they have it, but they don't use it. Because instead of looking at this and thinking, hang on a minute. So you've got two people who are talking about mental health, who are talking about looking after each other, who are talking about wanting to support this country and be part of it. You know that this tour has taken away money from people in this country that are poor. So at that point, what you should have said was, actually, it's lovely that you've invited us, but I don't need to come. This is Meghan. I don't need to come because at the end of the day, Invictus is nothing to do with me. This is Harry. So Harry, you go, because then that's two of us that they're not funding for. Or maybe better still, we don't need to travel to the country to do this, or we can do it on such a smaller scale where we're not staying in 5-star hotels and we're not, or funding my clothing, etc. Why hasn't that been done? And more so, why haven't the cult fan base called them out on that? And I think it really does show you the mentality of the people that align with people that behave this way, align with people that are like Harry and Meghan, because when you blindly follow, when you don't ask questions, when you don't look underneath the surface and look at the behavior. For a classic example, if with those two talking to children, again, always children, because there's a reason why they're always focusing on the children, young impressionable minds, telling people it's okay to have a bad day. It's, speak out, look after yourself, mental health. But yet I've spent the last 4 years hauling their families through the most horrendous bullying and lies. Meghan has ignored her father, who raised her, gave her everything, and when he's in hospital having a heart attack or 2 heart attacks and then a stroke, that she doesn't get on her private plane and go over and spend time with him and see him, that she hasn't looked after her father. Nigerians, they state, when the people that have come out in a sense in critiquing Harry and Meghan, are all about family. So how is it that these two have been applauded for coming to a country that is supposedly very much about family, and yet Harry is single-handedly on his own gone out and attacked his own family and aired the most egregious lies and attacked and bullied his family. Meghan has done pretty much the same thing about her own family. They've collectively done interviews and talking about in various ways how awful the royal family are. And not only that, they are congratulating and celebrating their own fan base, who has spread the worst lies and the most horrendous, disgusting, vile things about their families. And they've, instead of shutting it down and saying, we do not support, one post would have done it, one on their Archewell or Sussex, whatever, we do not support bullying in any shape or form. If we find that there are people that are pretending to be fans of ours that are bullying others, then we will not stand with that at all. Or whatever it is, just put something out. Instead, what they've done is that they've congratulated them. They've appeared at birthday parties. They've shaken hands with them when they've turned up. They have done various other things. They have openly supported them even, thanked them even. We have now this new person who is coming out, who I will put the evidence up here, who is actually part of working in UCLA with young minds, who has openly put tweets out which have been and are in the public domain, where he's openly trolled the Princess of Wales. And yet he's head of, is it diversity, part of the unit, diversity unit at UCLA. And the connection, well, aside from the fact that he's a big fan of Meghan, but Archewell has donated to UCLA. So it's, connecting the dots here. And again, apart from the odd few little things that come out on the media, nothing is said. Nothing. And yet these two people are encouraged apparently to go to countries. I just find it astounding how people don't look at people's behaviour. If you're going to support somebody, look at how they behave, how they conduct themselves, because it's not the word salad. Anyone can talk, anyone can say whatever it is that they say. When she goes on and she does her word salad, and then he's now adopting the same thing, it's words. It's words. But when someone behaves in a specific way, that is very telling. So you look at behaviour. Does that person conduct themselves in a way like we've seen the Princess of Wales, the Prince of Wales, conduct themselves in a way that actually shows you, in all of the years that we've seen them publicly, has anyone actually come on and shown categorical proof that they have bullied anybody? Not just, oh yeah, no, she said something really horrible and that means she's a bully and she's a racist. No, we don't mean that. Actual proof that they have bullied. Whereas when we look at Harry and Meghan, there is so much proof. And not just because of some of the things that we've seen put out online, but in their own words. Going on Oprah, lying, changing of stories, putting out that, I never went bike riding with my father. Boom, boom, boom. Here are photographs of you going bike riding with your father. My father was horrible. Well, here's proof that, that he wasn't. We're not, everyone can have an experience. Everyone can have their perception of events. Of course, Harry is free to have his perception. So is Meghan. But when you're putting it out as fact of this is truth or my truth, which I dislike immensely because it's not your truth. Truth is backed on facts. It's backed on evidence, actual undeniable evidence, not, well, this is how I see things, because that's subjective to you. You can see things a certain way, but doesn't mean that actually what you're stating is the actual truth. You can be in a room with 10 people and 9 people say how amazing you are and how wonderful you are, but you'll get one person that will say, well, I've just taken what you've said as bullying. It's perception. It's perception. So Harry and Meghan may have perceived what has happened to them as bullying or perceived what happened to them as wrong, but doesn't mean to say that it was. It's different for everybody. So the fact that these two have shown publicly that they are bullies, and yet the cult fan base attack Catherine and William and the royal family for being bullies, when again they haven't come on, they haven't done interviews talking about Harry and Meghan, they haven't gone on and slated them and written books about how awful Harry and Meghan are. Then I would say, okay, well, there's some credibility there. They haven't. Because people that follow this type of behaviour, they don't care about the truth. People that support people like Harry and Meghan, they are not interested. It's almost like they do the equivalent of la la la. Because even if you show proof, even if you show undeniable proof that what is being said is completely false, if these people are so are huge fans, then they will literally go la 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 la, not listening. I don't want to hear you talking negatively about someone I like. And so they'll either go not listening and I will just literally tune you out, or they will come back and attack. Like we've seen, like when you're on social media, like when I'm on TikTok, I might say something and they'll be like, oh, where's Kate? It's like they come back with, oh yeah, but what about this and what about that? It's like, you're not actually answering the question. What you're doing is you're deflecting. It's like, yeah, but look at what you look at what that, or they'll home in on, yeah, but the only thing they have with King Charles, oh yeah, but look at what you did to Diana. It's like, and unfortunately that's how they behave. And this is exactly what's going. But Harry and Meghan had the means to shut this down. The royal family are used to negative press. Meghan's family are not. She literally threw them to the wolves. And that, again, shows you the type of person. When it's more important for you to watch your fan base going after your own father and your family that you've known for your whole life, than actually coming out and saying, please don't do that. Please do not bully my own family. Regardless of what is going on, that's not okay. One simple thing could have shut that down. Because I can guarantee you that if she'd have put out that I love my father, I love my sister, I love my brother, her fan base wouldn't have gone after them. Because of the way their mind thinks, it's like, we can't possibly go against our cult leader, Meghan. So if she loves her father, we love her father. And that is exactly how it would have been. Same with Harry and Meghan, with the royal family. If they'd have come out and said, we do not abide by bullying, we absolutely love and respect our families, just because we've had, we've separated from them and we're doing our own thing, does not mean that we do not have the utmost respect for whatever's going on. Even with Princess Catherine. Princess Catherine is going through the most horrendous time right now. And I wouldn't blame her if she ever come back. Given the amount of vitriol that's happened, I can imagine for her it is probably so disappointing to see what has happened. So for her, I when it comes to having issues around mental health, I would not blame her for not wanting to come back. And I think if they'd have been that way from the beginning, we wouldn't have had these issues. If they'd have separated from the royal family and then shown absolute love and respect, I don't think that we would have the cult squad doing what they're doing. But they did. And then this is why I'm of the belief that these two are now in an alignment. I think Harry now realises that he's gone too far. Meghan doesn't care, if I'm honest. She doesn't care. As long as she gets what she wants, which is, in a way, like I say, undermining the royal family, going after the royal family, and apparently she's said that, oh, the trip to Nigeria was nothing to do with the royal family. I call BS on that. They are absolutely capitalising. Sorry. Hot flash. They're absolutely capitalising on the absence of the Princess of Wales right now, and that we're not seeing the children, etc. And I'm going to put this video up as well because this come to my attention. So 2 videos. The first one is Meghan standing in front of Harry. They're in a line of people, and you can see that Harry is trying to move in where he's trying to sort of stand equally next to Meghan. What Meghan does, and if you watch, she shuffles, but she doesn't actually move. And so Harry is then, you can see his face, he then is behind her. And he's not able to move forward because she won't let him. She won't let him move forward. And again, it's these little tiny sort of movements, behavioural moments that show us she does not love him. She does not care about him. She sees herself as far more important than him. Because if you love your partner, what is one of the first things you would do in that situation is you would literally be, I'll move out the way. And actually you would even be to the point where possibly selfless even, and go, you're the prince, I'll stand behind you, you stand in front. Because your love for them would overshadow anything else. The fact that she purposely stands in front and she doesn't move apart from shuffle to make it look like she's moving, and then you can just see Harry's face.
Watch how she manoeuvres her elbow to sort of stop him from coming out in front of her. She just refuses to move out of the way. Quick grin, deepest delight. And you see Harry's trying to move her elbow out of the way, and she just stands there. She shuffles back and forth to make it look as if she's attempting to move. The other people the other side look like they're moving, but she refuses to move. Completely just stands there, so Harry's left the back.
And then the second one is when they've landed in and they come out of the airport, body language. Because they don't know that there's a camera there, she's literally walking ahead of him, he's behind her. And I think this purposeful, she gets in one side, because again, I'm not saying that every couple has to be all lovey-dovey, but when you are constantly showing behaviour when you're in the public eye of always holding hands, always touching each other, she's always touching him, then when the cameras are not rolling, I've got my phone, I'm sort of looking at my phone, and I'm just walking and getting in the car, and then Harry's trailing behind. You would kind of almost be coming out of the airport, I would imagine, sort of holding hands or talking together even. Nothing. And I think it's these little moments that show you that these two are now, in my opinion, in just this alliance. Because Harry, unfortunately, has made his bed, he's now got to lie in it. And he's now realising that his family have said, well, his brother mainly, because I still feel that there's elements of his father that tries to be a bit softer with him. But I think he realises he's done, and he doesn't know what to do with that. He's got nobody. And so the only person he's now got is Meghan. And if there is, as I've surmised before, an element of blackmail going on, he's kind of in a no-win situation, and I would imagine he's out of his depth completely. So let me know what you think in regards to that. So I just want to say thank you so much for all the love and support that I've had over the last week. I cannot tell you how much this has meant to me. I understand that this level of drama being brought over here has been upsetting for some of you, and I should have thought about that before I acknowledged what was being said and done. In hindsight, I feel that I should have ignored it, and what would have been would have been. But I panicked. I went through this 3 years ago, and I lost 11,000 supporters who believed what was being said about me, the same sort of thing. And I panicked, and I thought that I could see my subscriber count dropping, and I thought it was going to happen again. So that's why I did the video. But I recognize that now I should have just ignored it. It wasn't worth my energy, my time. The people that trust me will stay. And if people want to leave, then that is their choice. If people want to believe that I am the things I'm being accused of, that is also their choice. And I didn't take my own advice, which quite often, more often than not, therapists don't. But in speaking to my own therapist, I have really had to soul search into why this has bothered me as much as what it has, because I know who I am. I've never, in all honesty, experienced such a level of toxicity that I have over the last sort of 3 years, and I didn't know how to deal with this. And I am very sorry if this has brought drama to all of you. And I certainly am going to be very mindful of that in the future. So if anything is ever said again, I will not bring this here. I will address this in my own private way. And I won't bring this drama to all of you, because you don't need this. You have enough stuff going on in your own life. This is not your problem. Bringing attention to it on my channel, perhaps I shouldn't have done. There are always going to be people that speak badly about you. There are always going to, and in a way, I can now understand why the royal family do the never complain, never explain. And in this instance, I should have adopted that, and I didn't. So that is all I'm going to say on this, and I hope that we can draw a line under that, and hopefully people will realize that I am who I say I am, and that's it. But from this point on, no matter what is said about me in a derogatory way, I am going to ignore, which is what I should have done in the first place, but I didn't. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to ignore and just carry on bringing the things to the channel that you all love, and I hope that you stick with me. But if you don't, then that's okay too. I want to hope that I can get to my 100,000 followers by the end of the year. That might be a bit of a tall order now, but you know, we can keep on hoping. So if you haven't subscribed and you would like to, then please do. And hopefully I will see you in the next video. And like I say, I've got a great video coming with a great interview. So don't make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss that upload. In the meantime, have a wonderful rest of the week, whatever you are doing, and I hope you've had a good weekend, and I will see you very soon. But as always, I love you, I appreciate you, but most of all, I respect you. So take care. Bye-bye.